You know, it's going to be one of those days when Juan, the Aztec patriarch, is in the house, which you should follow his homeless in San Francisco Instagram page, where he takes pictures and videos of predominantly white people. Let's be honest. That's almost where the Pacific Northwest starts, right? San Francisco, it's not as dry and warm as San Diego or LA. You start getting into liberal white people territory, right? San Francisco, right? That's probably the southern border. They're Texas. And you get all the way up to Vancouver, British Columbia. We'll loop in the Canadians with this. Where do all the crappy white people go? Oh, the Pacific Northwest. And it is. I've noticed one. Everyone's, minorities. There's white people are in this Olympics of pooping in the streets too, you know. Don't count us out. We want to defecate and urinate and crap in the streets just as much as any other race of people. And by God, if you don't believe it, go to Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco. Those are our three main entrants into the Olympics of defecating, urinating people. One's already here. It is the Clarey podcast. This is going to be I don't have it in me. I just don't. I really don't. I got not a crisis, not an existential. I hated that. Adults with existentialism. What is that? Do you guys ever bother explaining that? The academics, it's so important that you young kids understand that old people don't know what they're talking about, and they will use overly complicated words to make themselves more intelligent. Like paradigm, when that came out in the late, the paradigm, the zeitgeist. Do you mind explaining to us what the hell that means? We have this rubric. I have a rubric. You mean an outline for the class or the class notes or whatever it was? We have a rubric. Oh, tell me you're an idiot without telling me you're an idiot. You know who uses people who use rubrics are idiots. We have a rubric. Okay, just say you're lazy and don't want to work for a living. You can tell, like, anyone who uses those words, paradigm, zeitgeist, rubric, morons, all morons. People you shouldn't listen to, people you shouldn't trust. Mean the class outline? Why didn't you say so? Anyway, there's no other way. It's not an existential crisis, but it's kind of, that to-do list is getting real thin. I literally only have a trench to dig for a retaining wall. That's it. Then things go kind of to a normal state. I know what to do. Then I go play, hike, and all that. But it's been kind of cool and rainy in the Black Hills. So there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to hike. Snow is still melting, so it's muddy up in the hills. So you got to do canyon or go out to the Badlands. I got plenty of stuff to do, but it's weird when I wake up like, okay, well, the engine's still revving at 80-hour work weeks right now. And then I'm like, and I can't dig the trench too early because there might be rain. Let me back it up. Let me show you what it's like to be a middle-aged man. Okay. Here's what it's like to be a middle-aged man. I got to put in a retaining wall, because that's what middle-aged guys do. The women aren't going to do that. They're unaware that erosion would erode the foundation of the house away in these key pillar and support areas. So we got to shore them up a little bit. And that was my impersonation of every middle-aged woman ever. So I go to the homie depot, which we don't have here. It's called the Menards and the Lowies. All right. So I go to the Menards because they had 11% off. Another middle-aged man thing to do. And I go and I have to pick the types of bricks I want. And I somewhat foolishly brought the GF along because I don't care what the color bricks are. I'm like, I'm going to be nice. What color bricks do you want? Dude, never give a woman a choice. They will. Adult children, literally adult children who just abdicate any concept of responsibility and decision and like, hey, I don't want my life spent here at the Menards. Choose an effing color and let's effing go. But then see, once you grant them the choice, well, you got to honor that contract, right? Because I try and be moral. And there's some analysis and this and that. Well, what about this? Okay, and then I do the math, like the big bricks. You got to dig the trench twice as wide. It's not that tall of a retaining wall, so it doesn't have to be these monster bricks. I'm like, oh, that's a 2-foot wide trench. No way. Going with little bricks. So we're stuck over there for 30 minutes picking brick colors. And it just I'll tell you guys, before you build a house with a woman, right? You don't even I'm debating whether, like, okay, I don't care what the kitchen looks like. Here's the kitchen. I don't care what the bathroom looks like, as long as I got my own sink and a double-headed shower and you leave me, that's my stuff, there's your stuff. They'll still drag out the process. A house will never get built. Nothing will get built if you give like any modicum of control and decision-making ability or choice. Okay, all right. Here's how it looks. Hey, look, a house. So after a little bit longer than I'd like, we kind of finally said, like, okay, yeah, that's the right color. That looks good. So I ordered the bricks. I go back to the Menards. I go to the pro desk or their building materials desk. I did the math, a lot of math involved. How many bricks do I need? Length, width, height, fourth grade math, which, college graduates can't even do because you don't know how compound math works. And I need 2 pallets of bricks, 2 pallets. And they say unto me, all right, we could deliver that by the 27th. I'm like, you don't have them in your yard right now? I was out there. I saw 2 pallets of the stuff. You can't have Frank go take the forklift, put it into the truck, drive it over to my place, put it at the bottom of the hill or the slope. The 27th. So now I was like, okay, the 27th. So I can't dig the trench now because it might rain. So there's like, let me tell you my dream. My dream is to have nothing on my to-do list, which is not possible. I know that, but no major projects, nothing that had, no major projects on the to-do list except for daily work and activity and chores, so that when I complete my daily work activities and chores by no later than noon, I have from noon until 10:30, 11 at night. I want whatever I want. That's my life. That's my goal. And you can't, there's that retaining wall. It's got to get done. The support beams will be wiped out over 10 years' time of erosion. It's got to get done. But now it's delayed. And it's like, oh, but I could, by the way, if you've ever put in a retaining wall, most of the work is obviously digging the trench. The easy part is just stacking up the bricks. But I can't tackle it. I got to wait. And so sometimes it's like, okay, don't take the bait. Wait, rain could come in, wipe it out. Just wait until the bricks are delivered. No reason to start before that. And so that's where you come out. You're like, oh, and I look at the to-do list. It's like, it's nothing to do but have fun. And you think that'd be a joy. It F's with your head because you've been stuck working your ass off the entire time. Your mind and your body gets accustomed to it, and you feel like utter crap if you don't work, if you don't bang it out, if you don't complete a project. And everything else, it's like we're putting the final coating touches of the paint on the fighter plane I built. And now it's like, okay, now it's time to fly this thing. Like, fly? Wait, don't we have to fix an engine? Don't we have to install some rudders? What's going on? What do you mean fly? Enjoy this life? What? So now, yesterday was a perfect example. It was raining. There was nothing to do. Couldn't do anything outside. Finished up with kind of all my stuff. Did some consulting. We're going to get to that later. And I'm like, okay, what do you do? Wow. So I went to town. I got the mail. And now now it's like, oh, I see what the old people are talking about. I see it. I see old people. I am one of them. I went to the post office. And then I went to the grocery store. And then I got bored and I went to Crumble Cookies. I got a crumble cookie as a treat. Then I went to the coffee store. I was like, oh my God. And the reason it's that's your life. The reason it's that is because everybody else is still working. That includes old boomers who didn't save up enough money. And also the people who are old and out of shape. Oh, you think the boomers are out of shape? You think you old timers like, well, we can't find anyone to keep up. His tennis arm went. Now we're playing ping pong. Right? Dude, can you imagine the millennials and Gen Zers with their morbid obesity? Can you imagine how early they're going to conk out physically? They're not even going to make it to 60. There's always that running guy, like Tom Selleck running on the beach in Miami Vice, not Miami Vice, Magnum PI. Yeah, you could stay in shape as an older man, right? Sure, you could get out there. You could golf. I've seen the old timers golf, and those guys are in shape. Dude, that ain't going to happen. Certainly the millennials. My Gen X, we're going to be in between, obviously. But you guys are going to have knee problems at 47. You guys are going to be on rascals and oxygen tanks before you see your 55th birthday. And there's no one who's going to be able to enjoy a retirement when they all get older. Americans alive today are not going to enjoy the retirement because there ain't going to be one. And even if you get lucky enough to save up the money, you're going to be so out of shape and so fat and so disgusting, you wouldn't be able to enjoy it. And so there I am, like, okay, there ain't no hiking club. I already looked into that. I was thinking about starting up like a hardcore hiking club out here. It's raining. You can't, the weather also plays a role in it. So, a good several months, the winter makes it that you can't go outside. There's some skiing and whatnot. Like, wow, this is it, huh? This is how it ends. Getting roll call over at security in the college, the U of M police, roll call, roll it. Here we are. All right, let's roll out. Go. You got that? Something. There was a mission. And there was a mission in the job. There was also a mission to get out of college as quickly as possible and get a career and a job and then go work and make a lot of money. I knew this would effing happen. God dang it. I forgot to turn it off. You got to hit the code to turn it off because you nerds at Silicon Valley make you just can't turn off a damn phone. Anyway, that's it. There you go. Okay, you can play video games now. But back in the day, like there was like, okay, we're all in this together. We're all stuck in college. We're all poor. Our goal is to get out of poverty and make a lot of money. And then we're going to go to nightclubs there. And you didn't realize what a waste it all was. College chasing girls at nightclubs. But there was a mission. There was agency. There was a goal. And you shoot through that stratosphere and you make orbit. You're like, hey, I made it. There's nothing out here. So few people actually made it into orbit and outer space. Their space shuttles and their rockets are crashing and blowing up. They're going back to Earth. They're grounded. No one's coming up here. They're all stuck. Oh, he got divorced. He had more kids than he could afford. That guy didn't major in the right thing. And so, yeah, be careful what you wish for. I've said this before, especially if you guys follow the advice here. Especially in combination with remote work and self-employment, there's going to be guys getting to this level in their 30s. Like, what the hell? Because you're going to travel a lot. That's my next step. I'm going to go out to Asia, travel a lot. But man, and I got to stick around here and kind of finish touches on the houses. Got to finish. Okay, but it's like, holy cow. But yeah, once it gets warm and it ain't raining, Cappy's going to go out, do the hiking and the motorcycle. I'll be very happy. I was like, wow, this is it, huh? This is it. So I don't have a lot of juice in me. It's just kind of, yesterday's just wandering around Rapid City. Like, okay. You walk in, you start window shopping. Oh, what is that? Is that a trinket? You go to antique stores because it's kind of like a museum. You see old things people used to own. You get all depressed and existential using that word again. Like, someone thought this had value. I wonder what their life was like. Now they're dead. And here's this thing, this husk left over, this trinket they had. I don't know. It's a music box, set of dishes. It's a piece of art. Like, there was all this humanity that existed. Did they wander downtown Rapid City too? Did they have did that guy's wife get fat and he like let his knees go and then they stop having sex at about, 39? Did they have separate beds? Is this what life was about? Where is everybody? Why ain't anybody doing it? So the good news is, this is the good news. Not only do we have Atham, we have the Vlad Elkins coming out here in about 48 hours, 24 hours more likely. And then the great one is still here. He hasn't moved out yet. And I was thinking, okay, it might rain, but if I went to the homie depot and got 3 more shovels, we can make quick work of this trench. And guy, I know Vlad Elkins is in the house. I'm not joking. I'm actually thinking like, if we could make quick work of it, I think in an hour we could dig that trench. And so I'm going to run it past the guys first. I don't want them to come here for vacation. But and Atham being Mexican and the great one being, blue collar labor, these guys would be accustomed to it. But Chad, wouldn't that be interesting to try some manual labor for once in your life? Wouldn't that be kind of fun? Mr. MBA CPA, do you know how shovel works? I'll give you some gloves. We'll protect your gingerly little hands. But no, I think we got a work gang going on. We just, just start digging and get done with it. I'd be like, it's done. It is finished. And then a big torrential rain comes in and undoes all of our work. Dang it. I'd have to go get tarps then, protect it. Chad, nope. Never. You have to have done physical labor. You've had to have done physical labor. Guarantee your old man made you do it. Let us go through sponsors very quickly. Not all of them. Academic Composition. Go to academiccomposition.com. If you don't want to do your homework and write papers for your prereq classes, have nothing to do with your college degree, contact Alex and his crack team of writing staff. Alex is also always hiring writers and marketers. And don't whine about the pay or the nature of the job. You could do it remotely. And there you go. Also, right here, Doc mailed me this. The guy asked, like, hey, do you have the old thumbnail which had all your original podcasts on it? I didn't realize it, but we're coming up on 10 years of podcasting. And I said, it's maybe somewhere buried in some backup discs I got, but I don't think I got it. And he's like, well, if you could find it. So I emailed Doc. I said, hey, Doc, do you got it? Because he's more organized than me. He's like, yeah, there it is. Doc has it. So he sent me a backup. This is $100. Why are you charging $100? Because I don't have time. I would not say this is worth $100, but value is subjective, right? Some of this guy paid $100 to have me put it together, mail it out. So I'm like, okay, there's a market. So if you guys wanted like the original 80 episodes of my podcast starting in 2013, I got it right here. You are paying me to sacrifice my time pursuing other items that I value at $100 per hour, whether that's actual consulting and money, lost labor, or, I don't know, wandering around depressed in Rapid City buying crumble cookies, getting coffee because it's too rainy to go do anything else outside. So I have it if you want. It's $100. It really is just to compensate me for my time because I got to go buy DVDs, thumb drives. I got to put it on there. I got to mail it. And that's really the pain in the ass going because I got to drive all the way up to Rapid City and drop it off at the mailbox there. Hermosa's like, it's a good 20 minutes away. Of course, I always loop in other chores with it and errands, especially going to the Lowe's and the homie depots. But there you go. We have that. The menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex, is available now on Audible. If you are smart, if you're intelligent like me, and you don't like reading physical books because it forces you to sit down and not do anything, you are aware you have that extra 3 IQ points that says, hey, you know what? I'm going to die. We're going to die. And you're like, I don't want to sit reading a book made of paper in a chair. I want to go out hiking. I want to go out doing something. I want a road trip. I want to smoke a cigar. I want to clean out the garage. You can now listen to it on Audible. Recorded by the famous Jack Napier, who, based on his last podcast, I didn't listen to. It sounds like he's dropping out of the manosphere or he's doing something else. So I don't know. But so that is available for sale now. And that's my first book available in all formats: paperback, Kindle, Audible, and hardcover. And the hardcover again right here. It is actually like a menu. This came out exactly as I wanted. It's very nice, very nice. And I wanted, now that we have hardcover, I was thinking, I don't, unfortunately, I don't write for the blog much anymore because there's just no time. But if you guys remember, Captain's Quarterly, which is available for sale in paperback, what I want to do is kind of a Playboy magazine type of thing where I instead of like backing up my blog with big thick tomes, I just copy and paste it, which took some effort. I would go find a model kind of like Playboy and like have them dress up in PG-13 because I don't think Amazon allows. Well, maybe they do. I don't know. But that's not the style I wanted to go for. And there'd be like, pinup stuff. And the real risque stuff is I had the one model who I could find that showed up on time and did what she said she was going to do. I said, you really want to piss off the left. You really don't want to be sexy and saucy and naughty. Dress like a housewife. And she did. She dressed in a very pretty 50s dress. She's standing in front of an oven. That's real porn nowadays. And I would have loved to have another model. And we do have some gals floating around, but the girls are, yeah, I understand you're shy, you're bashful, or you're modest. Or maybe you just don't have the body for it, which is another thing. But I always wanted to like have that backed up in a classy way where there'd be an article and there'd be a classy pinup. And then there'd be another article, another classy pinup. And the only existence of that is Captain's Quarterly, which is available on Amazon. And it's color too. It's very nice. It was a work of art, I would say, as opposed to just writing. But now we got the hardcover. I'm thinking like, man, that might be something to try to resurrect. Oh, what's the supply chain issue? Pretty girls doing what they said on time? Oh, good luck. That ain't happening. So if there are any pretty girls who want to volunteer, I would obviously pay. We could create a little nice something. Then when you're old, I remember when I was beautiful and I posed in some risque but tasteful outfits. Grandma, look at that. Holy cow. Who's this author? Oh, he's long dead. Because women outlive men. But then I got a question for you gals. Do you ever, like the older gals, do you ever regret not availing yourself of your youth in that way or capacity? Like you could have done some like little cute, calendar for your husband, or you could have wore lingerie. You could have done something to celebrate your beauty when you had it, but now you're old and you didn't. Like, do you like, oh, I know no one will ever admit that. We'll never admit that. Oh, I gotta do the Vela wave. Let's do that. Let me get to that. Where'd it go? Here. I gotta add this to the list. Hang on, just bear with me. Boom. All right. I'll put it in the chat. There's also the VelaWave bike, the good men and women at VelaWave Company. Sponsor me. And I got myself the Prado S electric bike. And combined with my Jackery 1000 solar panel charging system, I'm able to get myself 12 miles of a range with that bike. And so I'm going to test it once it gets a little bit warmer and see if it could charge up a couple of these hills out in the Black Hills. But that is available for sale. I put the link down there below. Use the discount code Aaron to get $200 off. And I have quickly concluded the best use of that bike is for a commuter bike. Whereas if you live 10 miles away and you want to get a little bit of exercise, you want to save money on gas, perfect. Or you live in a downtown metro area or something like that, you're self-employed, just want to go to the grocery store and back, that's the perfect thing. Maybe not my model of bike, but it is the perfect type of bike to get, where you plug it in, bring the charger with you, you're at the office for 8 hours, plug it in, and then have your boss pay for your commute. There it is. Boom, done. Do you like paying $4 a gallon in gas? I don't. So get yourself a VeloWave bike. I linked it below. All right, that's it. Let's go to super chats real quick. We're gonna go through fan mail. Just gotta clean out my email. Like I said, it's gonna be a very exciting podcast. Purple Mayo, $10. Currently fantasizing between a C8 Corvette and a 1990 Thunderbird Super Coupe. Going to choose the Super Coupe. Wait on the economy to crash when boomers will liquidate their toys, cash, and I find. I am so cheering for a recession right now, Purple, because I want to get. I'm in the market for a new car, not new, obviously, a used for another car, because my truck is getting a little long in the tooth. I don't know how long I could keep it going. And I would not mind getting a 1972 Mach 1 Mustang. I would not mind getting that. Now, they're not the 68 or 69. They're not the bullet car. They're kind of the next incarnation off of that. I think they're very sexy. And I cannot wait for a crippling recession for those Mustangs to go on sale. Because I have an agent in the field who sells, let's say, luxury vehicles to boomers. And I asked him, like, okay, what percent how old are they? And what percent of the old people pay cash? He's like 20, 25%. I'm like, really? These boomers, these guys 60 plus don't have the money to pay cash for like their final car, their last hurrah. Nope. It's all. And one guy was talking about buying a used luxury vehicle for $15,000, which is a lot of money, but for a luxury vehicle, for your dream vehicle, that's pretty affordable, you know? I think, shoot, used cars go for that, you know, cheap used cars, relatively cheap. The guy had to get a loan. Dear great and merciful Corona-chan, please destroy this economy with a horrific recession. I would love to see everything go on sale. I would love to. And then all these contractors, all these, you know, carpenters, electricians, plumbers, all that, all these builders. I love to see interest rates jack up. Not only because then they'll come by, hey, you got any work? Hey, you got any work? But some of them might rope themselves because they borrowed money to buy the latest truck and they live paycheck to paycheck. Instead of paying cash and saving money for a rainy day, you know, all these morons are like racking up the debts and taking out as much debt as their income will afford. So when their income goes down, but their debt payments don't, then they're like, oh. And what's so funny about them is they're not smart. They've never matured past the 7th grade. They've never made it out of middle school. I'm not joking about it. They literally have never made it out of middle school, though. That's a lot of Americans. The blow to their pride and ego. And they finally are making their 6 figs. And then their nagging wife, now they're like, Dad, they're big rollers, bro. Yeah, me too. I'm a big roller, bro. And then it goes away. They cannot suffer the blow to their ego. And then like, hey, you know what they got on for? Look, here's the irony, the sad part. There'll be a lot of sales going on at the housing supply stores like Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, all those other places, right? But there will be a shortage of rope. Like, where's all the rope? Why is it $30 a yard with the extra slippy? I wonder why that rope is sought after. I won't care. I'll be dancing on your graves because you guys are scum. You're freaking scum. Oh, darn, the scum rope themselves. Oh, darn, the scum are depressed. Oh, nosy. Oh, darnsy. Less scum. Oh, so yeah, it'll be those group of people. That'll be fun. Good times. Good times. You got any work? That happened during the housing crisis. Like, they go, you got any? I'd get flyers. And I was reasonably okay at carpentry and doing my own stuff. But yeah, I could have used someone. I had a shed built because do it right. But it was a friend I knew. But this time, especially because of the poor craftsmanship, everyone had to learn to become their own tradesman. And your reputation is ruined. your work is crap, and people had to basically learn to do your job. Now that we got YouTube and everything, people are like, no, I don't have work. I fixed everything myself. Screw you. I wouldn't hire you anyway because you don't fix the problem. You just make more. Troy Kostalecki, famous child slave laborer for $2, working on the garden, planting some raspberries. Good. I need that raspberry jam made with little kinder hands. I think we finally finished off the original jam you guys sent. Now we're going to other friends. I don't know how we ended up with so much jam. Like 3 different people sent us jam. Like, what's going on? Is there did someone say we like jam? Your jam is the best, Troy, because the little children's tears is baked into the jam. It's just a little bit sweeter. What else we got here? I'm trying to stay on top of it. Glenn Lawrence, check him out over on his YouTube channel. A guy more physically attractive than pretty much everyone here for $10. Cappy, my girl says she volunteers for tribute. I'll take it. Is she good looking? I presume she's got to be. You're a very handsome man, obviously. Yeah, I'll gladly email me, Glenn. Let me know. I'll pay. I gotta go back but I'd love to do that. Wouldn't that be? Now we got the hardcover. It'd be maybe I only leave it in hardcover, so you guys know it's gonna be expensive because when you print in color, it's expensive. But yeah, hit me up, Glenn. I'd be more than happy. I got other work for if she wants to model other things and all that, I could put out the books and everything. I'll have to go to my notes. Glenn Lawrence, $5 again. I have a 1960. Oh, why would you sell it, Glenn? Why? What? 67 fastback? Why? Keep it. Have fun, or so one of them. Colin Benton, $2. Hey, Campy, is Chimney Rock in Nebraska worth seeing? Why? Hang on. I may have gone to that. It's not whether it's worth seeing, it's whether it's worth the drive. Chimney Rock, Nebraska. Golly, come on. Nebraska. Where is this? It's cool, but you got to drive out. Was that where the Dinosaur Visitor Center was? Where is that? Okay, I've not been there. No, I would say it's not. As you could surmise, Nebraska is one of the most boring states in the United States. There's some kind of cool stuff on the far western part, but the problem is, let's say you see Chimney Rock. Okay, that's really exciting for Nebraska, but if you go to Moab, you'll see spires like that all over the place. So you'll see that formation elsewhere. But yeah, if you lived in the Plains states, that's fancy. It's like the people in Arizona. They think Lake Havasu is awesome. Dude, we're going to the zoo. Bro, gonna get the girls. And I get there. I'm like, this is a widening of the Colorado River that looks like a hot swamp. This is not exciting. That's because I'm from the Twin Cities and Wisconsin. There's literally 10,000 lakes in both states, by the way. But for Arizona, any puddle is an amazing body of water to bring their boats to. So Nebraska is the same thing. Look, something that isn't flat. Like, let's say you have the one girl with a big set of boobies in high school. All right. But they're C's and everyone else has mosquito bites. Well, C's are good. They're honorable mentions, but they ain't no double D's. And then you're like, oh my God, Amy's got great cans. Well, you haven't seen Jessica 3 school districts over who's got double D's. You're like, oh. And there's nowhere to fly near there. Scottsbluff is about the closest, and that's not. No, I wouldn't say it's worth it. I would not say it's worth it. Roger Schaefer, $5. Finished a review of a 10,000 plus square foot the other day. Guess how many rooms? Just 4. Finished a review. 10,000 plus square foot home the other. You write reviews of homes? 4? Only 4 rooms? Is that like a new design, or there's only 4 dedicated bedrooms and then they have an office and a wine room? Is that what we're talking about here? Because I'm pretty, like, when I look at how many rooms could we put a bed in and sleep? My Spaniard blood coming in there. That's how I view it. Kind of like our Mexican brothers and sisters. How many people could we fit in here? Is that a room? That's a room. I've seen walk-in closets where it's like, you could fit 2 beds in here. But wifey needs her shtick. Needs her crap. Ask Deck you. Hey, speaking of Mexicans, $2. I'm arriving Sunday at noon. Yeah, but all right, good. You got off. All right, so we'll see you in about 48 hours. Vlad Elkins will pick up later. Hopefully, I'll be able to have some vehicles insured and ready to go. So all right, we're caught up. All right, let me go through the fan mail. This will be finally caught up. Cappy will finally catch up. Oh, could you please put your Amazon affiliate link in your YouTube channel description on your internet to be easy to find? I think I have. If you don't have it there, you could always go to olderbrother.com/donate, and you'll see 3 links. One is to Subscribestar, the other is to PayPal, and the third is my Amazon affiliate program. So if you would kindly do all your Amazon shopping through that website first. But Cappy, I like the app. Yeah, you would, Zoomer. You would. So convenient. I know, but if you want to help out Cappy with it not costing you anything more, go to olderbrother.com/donate. Click on the Amazon banner, do all your shopping there. Do I have to log in? No, you don't. You just shop, and through the magic of the internet, it says, oh, it bought it through Cappy's site, and I get a 3 to 5% commission or cut, and you don't pay anything extra, and Mackenzie Bezos makes less money. Is that happy? Do you want to take him? You want whatever, the 3rd most richest woman who didn't do anything on her own and just stole it from a guy? Do you want to get a little bit of that money back? There you go. That's how you do it. I'll keep her anonymous. You are Mr. Common Sense Encourager. Thankful to Kenny Rogers and the Root Beer Float for giving me the time over the past 24 months to listen to you and others from Rule Zero. Rob, Jack's content. Thankful that I received earbuds for Christmas. As a middle-aged lady, wife of many years, mom of 2 boys, getting your content out to others is so important. I'm not on social media, so do not offer any value to your request for ideas on which females to send the menu to. There is a female audience of moms of sons who are seeing some very crazy girlfriends. We're in panic mode or on silent. Do you love your boys? Okay, I appreciate the fan mail, like a good fan mail, not hate mail or death threats. You're a coward and a weakling. Do you fear the conversation you have to have with your boys more than you love your boys? How much do you love your boys? Do you love your boys enough why are you silent? You don't love them that much, period, right? Right? Action determines. You fear having an uncomfortable conversation with your boys or trying to warn them about these girls. You fear that more than you love your boys. If you loved your boys, you would get in there and prevent this from happening, and not in a meddling, nagging, controlling mother sort of way. But like, no, son, you're not marrying that. I mean, look, my generations of moms, they were, not only if they were completely feminist and all that, they were silent because they didn't know any better. They were the first ones. Hey, here's this thing called Feminism 1.0. Okay, we'll install it in our family's operating system. They didn't know what they were dealing with. They didn't. And they thought, I would say so rightly so, like, well, all my friends are normal. They didn't have the internet to see what craziness is going on. Like, no, all my female friends are normal. It's because you have a job and you're also twice the age of your son. And your son is dating a completely different set of women. My mom, bless her, I had no idea women were like this. No kidding, really. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? She's like, I didn't know. And she's right, she didn't. There was no interwebs. Like, thanks, a lot of help. But now you do know because you and your cadre of moms with sons have the internet. Now, do you love your sons, more than the fear, or do you fear more than you love? It's up to you. You could say things we are too chicken bleep to say. Yeah. How is your son's my responsibility? I really look in the mirror, man. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. If you go have Jack lift weights on Pinterest with Clarey quotes underneath, may get you eyeballs. Your son's futures are not my responsibility. See, you and I have a different relationship with your sons, generally speaking, as a group. My relationship with your sons is one that is commercial. It is commerce. It is business. If your sons are not warned by you or your husbands, and they are misled, they are going to suffer horrendous pain and consequences and ultimately confusion because you didn't warn them. No one educated them. That was your job. And then they are going to search, and there's a statistical chance they will find me or the Rich Coopers of the world or the Rolos. Me, and they'll say, I got a problem. I'll say, it's not my problem because I got my own problems to deal with, like figuring out what to do, all depressed, walking through Rapid City eating cookies. And they'll say, but I will give you money. Now it is my concern. Still not my problem, but it is my concern, a business concern. Let us conduct. What should we talk about? And then that's my relationship with them. Commercial, transactional. Your relationship with your sons is love, familial, mother-son. That is, and I would say you have a moral and ethical obligation to raise your children, women too, girls too, as best as you can. So if you have sons, that is your responsibility, not mine. If you fail in that responsibility, that then creates the opportunity for a business opportunity for me, but it is not my obligation or responsibility. And your son will pay for it, both financially to me and mentally, emotionally, psychologically, suffering and going through because you never told them the truth because they're confused. But at least you weren't inconvenienced, right? You weren't inconvenienced. Good. Hallmark card expectations are warped and have been part of redefining and reorganizing expectations over the past 30 plus years. Where are we? Okay, we're good. We're there. Would love to see you do a piece on that. I will go to Amazon and get the book, as sending you money on YouTube is outside the online money boundaries that my hubby and I have going. Hope that is okay. That's fine. Just look, if you need my words to help out your son, get my books into your son's hands. Hope that is okay. Keep up the good work. Your message of building a decent life, working hard, being a friend, and being generous. Oh, I was like, when am I generous, Thor and Missy? Yeah, well, that's not being generous. I would say that's more an obligation. Bad things happen to good people. And when bad things happen to good people, moral and ethical, I wouldn't say necessarily good people, go and we'll help them out. So Thor and Missy do need our help. Is so grounding to hear when you are on the panel discussions. You were redefining the word a-hole. No, society redefined it. Asshole is just somebody who tells you the truth. That's it. That's all it is. If you're still reading this, thank you. Stay well. Best wishes. All right, so that will go into the memento box. Move to the book. All right. The menu isn't on your books page. Oh, yeah, I'll have to add that later. From Anonymous. Hey, asshole, can I say how much I'm starting to hate you? This is a good one. This isn't hate mail. I don't think there is any words to describe, and so thank you. I'm very glad for your material as it has saved my life. Long story short, you were right. My stepdad is in fact abusive, and you were right. Dude, the fact you have a stepdad, that doesn't mean your stepdad is abusive or bad or anything else. It does mean your mom screwed up, and probably your biological father as well. Okay. If there is a step anything, your parents screwed up. If there are step brothers, step parents, half siblings, your parents screwed up. And very simple rule, you owe them nothing. Nothing. They failed to bring you up in a stable nuclear home, period. Anything else is child abuse. Maybe low level, but it is abuse. Now, it's not malicious abuse on your stepdad's part. He was just trying to tap your mom's hoo-ha. Okay? Your dad was just trying to get some boozy. He's banging your mom. But maybe now his actions beyond that have become abusive. And you're right about how few people care about the children, how marriage is nothing more than illegal child abuse and more. And I hate the fact you are right. Well, at least you now know. Imagine living your entire life living the lie. Girls like you for you, and they're going to dedicate their life to you, support you. Your mom and your dad actually love you more than they do themselves. Any degree is a good degree. Socialism works. You need to get a master. How many lies? Imagine if you followed those lies. You want to see a generation that followed those lies, and they're in the waning days, the final days of the lives. It happened. Look at my generation. I know we pick on the boomers, but there was still a modicum of intelligence and anchoring in reality. The millennials are going to be the first full on board. What happens when a society, a generation follows socialism to the T? But my generation you're definitely going to see Generation Spinster there. And how happy are these people? Miserable. Absolutely miserable. The only thing Gen X has is the fact that it could say that it was aware, that it was wasn't completely brainwashed or duped. Like we were real, to use the parlance. That's about it. And the reality sucked. That's what it was. The reality sucked, but at least we're aware and conscious of that fact. We're the last generation that's going to have any tethering to the real world. The rest of the generations after, you guys are all clueless. So clueless. You actually believe the president when he says that he shouldn't be blamed for inflation. And meanwhile, I just shut down the Alaska lease oil thing. Like, okay. My story: after almost 2 years of lockdowns and bleep, my family moved out of our hometown. The intended destination was Florida, but I ended up in Virginia. And after some family drama, lies got stuck there, with my only job prospects being fast food as I work on getting other problems situated. And due to the bad area, bad economics, and people, I'm going back to an old job in my home state, even if I don't want to, as this is my only real economic opportunity other than working this dead-end job I'm currently working. After I told my mother about this, my stepdad got pissed off at my decision. Why? Are they going to get less Section 8 money? Why is your stepdad getting pissed off? I thought he'd be happy. Usually the stepdad wants the sons out. Too long didn't read his disown my ass. It took everything I have, which I'll never get back, or meeting my newborn sibling. Oh, your family, which is already poor. There's another one on the way. That is the best thing to happen to you, to get kicked out of that family. And if I hadn't found your materials, my life would have been a lot worse position than it is today. And these events are recent as a couple of years ago. I find that this has put a lot of my life into perspective. Yeah, your family doesn't love you. Cabby don't love you guys either. Just so you know, Cabby's my new family. I ain't your family. I don't love you guys either. I'm just pointing out the fact. As I have to make some difficult decisions going forward, and this isn't a plea for cash or sympathy. I'm completely fine. I'm going to be fine. Never really own much to begin with. In fact, 90% of everything I owned before I took it, minus a dresser full of clothes, would fit into 3 medium-sized boxes. Well, Goodwill is dirt cheap. Go there. Now almost everything I own fits into a shoebox, nor do I want much. But that really wasn't the point. My point is, thanks to the years of material I've watched your content, from your honest analysis to harsh real world talk, I'm able to more easily to make decisions. In other words, your material saved my life, as if I had it known what I learned from his would be. Guys, here's some free advice, okay? For all you Zoomers, stop doing voice to text. That's fine on social media, but if you're sending out resumes and applications, it's over. I know your generation is over anyway. So I buy a lot of food and bullets, because I'm not going to rely on your generation to know how to farm or keep the electricity on. Really, I'm not. At a price quote come in, for solar panels? 40 grand. 30,000 after federal tax rebates and all that. I'm like, I did the math. I'm like, okay, that's about 25 years of electric bill payments. I don't have to worry about maintaining the infrastructure or anything like that. I was like, no, because honestly, the electricity, you look at what would you have to keep going? Well, I have perishable food, so I don't need the fridge. I'm talking like, it goes away. All I need to do is keep the lights on. And right now with like a small independent battery system, I could do that. I could really just keep the lights on. It's not that hard. Just literally just need light. That's all I need. Just light. That's all. I'm like 30 grand. I don't think I've ever bought anything aside from property that was 30 grand. Literally. I don't think I've like the down payment. I don't think I've ever spent that much money on anything but property. So no, thank you. That's all right. I'll just go get some more Jackery stations. Aaron, what's a Jackery state? I'll do a video after this later. I gotta do more Amazon affiliate promotion because there's money to be made there, and it will also help you guys out. But yeah, I have no faith in your generation being able to do the most basic of things. So yeah, and if you guys keep doing this voice to text, soon there will not be an internet system. We'll be back to writing paper. We will. If you guys don't, the infrastructure, this incredibly intricate and fragile infrastructure that has been built requires you guys to do some basic things. And if you don't do these basic things, the infrastructure will go away. And soon you won't have to worry about voice to text because there won't be any cell phones coming out that are capable. And this simple fact makes me hate you. I hate the fact you were right. I hate the fact you were honest and right. And I hate how sick modern society really is. So thank you for your content. You've completely changed my life for the better. And unitenally prepared me for this recent situation, which without it, I don't know how I'd react or live with myself. And sadly, there's probably going to be more situation, even if I don't really watch your content anymore as it's gotten stale for me. And I like real cash right now. So go F yourself. Thanks for everything, asshole. And no, this is not a suicide note either. Good. No, best of luck to you. We'll put that into, where'd it go? There it is. That will go into the book. Well, good luck to you. I'm not going to give you advice because everyone knows my advice. Let me go through the super chat. Make sure we don't fall too far behind. This be a good one. Get out of here quickly. Roger Shea for $5. Energy code review. Yes, car showroom, pool hall, giant kitchen. Oh, okay. Energy code review. So he's got a car showroom, a pool hall, and a giant kitchen. Sounds like a great bachelor place, actually. That sounds very nice. Sounds very nice. Brandon Gaffey? $5. I'm taking a trip to Badlands and Black Hills next month. I'll bring you a case of Rooster Booster Light since your friends suck. Yes. Thank you, Brandon. Have a good weekend. Yeah, email me. And on the thing, say Rooster Booster Light so I know to meet up with you. Vlad Oakham's $2. But Chad, it's hard for women to stay thin. It is hard. And it's hard for men to stay loyal. There's the response, Chad. That's what we should have said to all of the women. Your mom always gets. But Chad, it's hard for women to stay thin. Yeah, it's hard for men to stay loyal too. It's even harder when women are fat. But in an ironic sense, or maybe not so ironic, maybe it's just nature. I don't think women came up with a cartel like this. But women all got fat at the same time. And they didn't have to have a conference on it. They didn't have the Council of Nicaea. Like, we all get fat today. They just kind of knew, hey, if we all get fat, then there won't be the guilt because men will stick with us. They'll be in this purgatory of malaise and indifference and no passion. And then we won't have to hit the gym. Yay. What's that like for women's utopia? Like, you're all just incredibly average and you don't work at anything. There's no passion. There's no joy. I know you girls don't like sex as much as men. That much is obvious, but is that if you could get, like, for example, let me paint a different contrast. The gay community, gay men, not lesbian, not non-binary, whatever. I'm talking just gay men. When they got what they wanted, or they get what they want to be at a gay nightclub, holy cow, are they happy? I mean, they're celebrating, man. They're fabulous. Everything's wonderful. They got nightclubs. They're drinking. They're having a grand old time. They're happy. Like, they celebrate. When women get what they want, it's misery. It's sadness. My husband, they're like, but you have what you want. You're all overweight. You don't have to work out. If you do, you get like, you're a 5.1, so you're the hottest girl on the block. Your guy ain't going to leave you because every other gal is below a 5.1. You can go on the internet, get constant attention. Why aren't you as jovial as gay men? Why are you having completely average woman nightclubs where you just celebrate? You don't have to work hard at anything. You won, girl. You know the meme? The girl's getting a kiss on her cheek from the groom. She's in her wedding outfit, and she's just smiling. She says, now I can get fat. You won. 70% of the population is overweight, male and female, so you can still get guys to, like, I don't know, give you fupa sex. Girls don't have to work out because the alternative, you won. You pulled it off. Your OPEC of 1973 and 1977, I believe. Shouldn't you be rejoicing and like, yay, the fat girls. Yay, the fat girls. Student loan bailouts coming, so you guys could imagine your intellectuals with your jokes of degrees. There was nothing but a 4-year excuse to party off the expensive backs of the taxpayer. All of society bows down and lies to you. You're brave and amazing because you were born with one half the gender. There was a 50% chance you came out that way. And you had nothing to do with it. It was pure chance. Oh my God, you got a hole instead of a stick? Oh, praise. Why are there not, like, girls just skipping down the road with big ass grins on their faces? Why? Why using antidepressants? Why is alcoholism going up? Why? It doesn't make any sense. You won. You won. Should you be doing a victory lap? Should there be, like, feminist flags coming out of gals' trucks? She'd be like looking like, I know, fat girlfriend, I'm fat too, and I still got this guy because there ain't no other choice. Dude, that happened in Casper all the time. Oh, Wyoming. Woo! Those girls were ahead in so many ways. First state to give women the right to vote. First state to get fat chicks to get, like, guys that made 6 figures and are in good shape because they're all the manual labor guys that work in the mines and construction and all that. I think they figured out if I get pregnant in high school and we all do it at the same time. You girls got what you wanted. Why aren't you happy like the gay men in the gay community? But that's the answer. I guess it's hard for men to stay loyal. Vlad Elkins. Alex Plow, $5. Hey, Cap, much thanks to you and Elkins for guiding me. Just graduated with a bachelor's in accounting, studying for CPA this summer, joining Big Four in October. No debt. Awesome, Alex. Awesome. Remember, stick around, get your experience, and get the hell out. Get the hell out. The Competent Man, famous internet hero of the Red Pill community, $5. We're coming out today that East Coast diesel may be on allocation. What do you mean allocation? East Coast diesel. You mean on, like, price controls or limits? Diesel inventories on East Coast tightened again last week. Are down more than 50% from reducing its allocations. A rare step. East Coast diesel inventories plummet. Spot prices soar. Okay. Ask me if I have my electric bike. I have my electric solar panel. Now, I know diesel is what gets me my supplies. I have supplies. And for all you Zoomers and millennial morons who are leftists, okay, all you guys who don't understand why inflation is going up, here's why. You put Democrats in control. You look at Biden. Biden is he's never worked a day in his life. I'm not kidding. Look at his background. You put a trust fund baby. What do you call him? You put a tree. You put a rock up as president, and your entire ideology is environmentalism and avoiding work. And all right, so now you shut down all these pipelines. Oh, and by the way, that thing with Russia going on. I won't explain the concept of fungible. You've choked out the production of oil and gas. Diesel is gas, by the way, in case you did. I bet you a bunch of people didn't know that. I'm not joking. Not my audience. And and now how do you get your things and your stuff? Oh, it's through trucking, isn't it? But you all shoot and shame people for being truck drivers because they didn't go to college. And so now your supplies ain't going to get where they need to go. And you know what's going to happen? Shortages on the shelves. It's weird how I've not recently, but slowly, like you see these movies where there's the loyal patriot to whatever country, let's just say the United States. But then through investigation or war or the military, whatever journalism work, he uncovers a plot to find out the state is the enemy. Oh, we're corrupt. I've been fighting. But I used to be very pro-American back when there was something to be proud of in the 80s, Ronald Reagan, that kind of thing. And now I've become so anti-American that I am cheering on the demise. Before I was like, enjoy the decline. It's regrettable. Now, this is the most entertaining thing. This is like the I wouldn't say the only value I have in life. Obviously not the only value. But I am literally cheering on a recession, not just so I could get cheaper stuff, but I want to see all the right people suffer. I want to be able to say I told you so, because for decades now I've been told I'm the bad guy and oh, you're an historianism and you hate poor people and and it's like, no, let it happen. But I can't wait till there are shortages. Oh, East Coast shortages? You guys can't get your supplies into Philly and New York and Baltimore? Wonder what's going to happen when food runs out at the 7-Eleven. Wonder what's going to happen. I don't care. I'll be sitting here with my food and my guns in case someone decides they're going to have some of it, with my little solar panels and the lights on at night. I might actually have to read books if we don't have, won't be any podcasts to download. I just like seeing the misery, because ultimately what real wealth is not how many dollars the government and Uncle Biden gives you, and Uncle Trump too, in fairness and honesty. It's how much stuff you can buy. It's the stuff, guys. And I know all of you living off of the government don't know that. You think it's all dollar signs. And then rent is jacked up. Housing costs go up. You're like, I can't afford rent. Remember when $15 an hour would have given you something to live off of? Yeah. Democrat policies, not necessarily Democrat politicians. I'll grant you that. Trump was not a Democrat politician. His policies sure the hell were Democrat. Print off more money, borrow more, spend. And all of a sudden, the number of dollars to buy the thing has gone up. You're like, the number of dollars went up. You might be more concerned about whether the thing even exists for you to buy. Because once again, we have so shamed real production and work in this country, and the trades and farmers and hard work. And now we have like 2 generations of liberal arts and social science majors who have no talent or skills to produce any of the things you need. You're going to start finding out, you're going to learn real quick that economics ain't about money. Money is you'd almost do good to remove money from the entire equation to analyze economics. It's what is your productive capacity? And the productive capacity of most college graduates is 0. You're all useless, worthless people. Literally, I mean that. And I'm not slamming on you. I'm describing you. And you're all slammed on because you're little suburbanite people like, I'm an environmentalist. Why can't I find food? Let me explain to you how supply chains work. Hey, but you shut down the pipeline. That's real good. You shut that down. That magic juice that gets us all of our things, so we don't have to take a slow boat to China to go get it on a sail. You're all going to learn real soon. And it's good. It's good. 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 Shut it down. Competent man, $2. OPWC short by 2.7 million barrels per day currently. West Crude, OP. I'm guessing there is a diesel shortage. That's fine. That is fine. What we need, ladies, what you need to do is continue making fun of truck drivers, and everyone should shame truck drivers, and no one should become truck drivers. Oh, God, don't become Alex Patino. Oh, no. Did you know Alex doesn't have a degree? You don't want to be a truck driver. Oh, no. You want to be a nonprofit director that fights against global warming. We shut down oil supplies. That's what we're going to do. That's what you want. You want to become an investment banker. You want to become an internet influencer. Oh, wait. I am fully aware of the hypocrisy of my position. I'm aware. That's why I don't take this seriously. So I've never I'm a life coach. I'm an influencer. I'm going to change lives. No, this was 100% by accident. Had no freaking clue. You damn right I'm going to cash in on it while I can. The good times will end. But you girls should absolutely completely demoralize truck drivers and petroleum engineers, and we should shut this all down. Don't give them any tail. Don't cheer them on. Don't support them in any way. Why can't I find my makeup? Did you know that the organic food is super expensive at the grocery store now? Why is gas so high? I need a government subsidy for an electric bike so I could continue doing my HR work. Oh, won't that be fun in the collapse? Like the HR ladies, what do they do? What does diversity and inclusion consultants do? You know what they do? Starve. They do one of two things. There'll be the decision no tree, HR before apocalypse or just bad financial times. Lecture, moralized sermon, be weapons grade Kuantaha. Those are options. Then post collapse, it splits. Suck dick or die. That's it. There's your value, ladies. And men who are stupid enough to be in those fields. Alan Beeble box. For 20 generous dollars, they'll pay me the gas that I go pick up Vlad Elkins at the airport. Airport's pretty far north and out there. I work in renewable energy technology. Yesterday in a FedGov meeting, I was informed that the renewable energy is now called climate technology. Renewable. How can we stop this dumb woke rewriting, redefining creep in society? You can't, because most American people are worthless and they need to euphemize what they do. Okay, I'll give you an example. Diversity and inclusion consultants, they don't consult. Right? They shakedown. That's what they do. It's a shakedown. That's all it is. They parasite. HR, they're tyrants. They nag. That's what they do. But they can't. Human resources. Human and industrial relations. You're garbage man. No, I'm a sanitation engineer. Shut that up. I am not a life coach. I'm an idiot on the internet. That's it. I'm okay with that. But I am comfortable with who I am. Most people are not. They need to lie all the time about what they do. That's it. The Democrat Party, not the party of the poor, the working class, they're thieves. That's all socialism. It's thievery. Democratic socialism, legal thievery. That's all it is. All Democrats, parasites. I'm for rights. No, you just want other people's money. And to avoid this, people got to lie to themselves. Imagine the perfect mental state. We apply that to women, but it could also apply to other people. It's pride, man. They're just protecting the pride. May I give a constructive criticism to our black brothers out there? Right? Is it that you got a bunch of baby mamas pregnant and you never got off your ass or graduate from high school or put any effort into it? No, it's always somebody else's fault. Why? Pride. Pride is what keeps you poor. Because I don't know what you're trying to protect. Your ego, your pride. So you can look at yourself in the morning like, no, you're a dirtbag. You do pot, you date it, you don't have a job. But to protect your pride, it ain't my fault. Well, okay, fine. Tell yourself lies. You know who does that too? White girls from the suburbs. It isn't my fault I don't make as much as an engineer. Yes, it is. You majored in social sciences. You majored in communications. You majored in journalism. You didn't work as hard. It's all your fault. Not only stop hiding behind a trait you were born with, stop by association insulting and degrading or defaming people who share that trait. It has nothing to do with your trait. You're a lazy piece of crap. But the pride keeps you poor, man. Pride is going to make sure there's always a wage gap between men and women. It's always going to happen. So it's the same thing. They'll change climate technology. Who cares? I don't care. I'm sure Hitler had some fancy words for murdering Jews. Sure he did. And it sounded really great. That's not the worst climate technology. Wouldn't that be kind of related? I was real let down at the price. I was kind of looking forward to like, yeah, I might make a little, just kind of break even a little. And I may still get like the watered down version without the battery backup. But I was just like, oh, well, dude, I could buy a ton of batteries. I could do it myself. Like, it's pretty pricey. Compa demand $5. When the gas runs out, TFM thinks the normies will call for nationalization of the energy industry. Well, I don't know what good that will do. It would be just like Venezuela. Okay, nationalize the industry that you've already choked out through regulation that ain't producing gas anyway. Government oil companies will be epic. Yeah, ask Pemex. And Pemex is one of the more better run. It's not that well run either. The Mexican national gas company. I don't know what they plan on doing. See, the Democrats fail to realize this. At least the Democrats of old knew that. They knew to be fascist in a certain sense, where it's like, okay, I'm Joe Biden. I know I don't know anything about running a gas company. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the private sector run the national gas, the gas industry, right? It will be private sector. We're just going to make ourselves a default 40% owner in the national in the gas industry through corporate tax. See, so even though the federal, state, and local governments don't own 40% of all the different corporations out there, they are a default 40% stakeholder in all U.S. corporations because the corporate tax combined, state, federal, and local, averages around 40%, and more like 36%. I think Trump lowered it a little bit. And they were smart. See, the Democrats of old were smart. Like, I don't know how to run a motor company. I don't know how to run franchise restaurants, but those people do. And they make a lot more money than if we had a nationalized system where we send in bureaucrats who suck the right dick. So we're going to let you guys run it. We're just default 40% owners, like the mafia. But now, either because of true stupidity or naivete, if you Democrats think you're going to make more money by personally taking over any kind of industry, gas, oil, franchise restaurants, doesn't matter. I'm sorry, you're not that smart and you're too lazy. You're too incompetent. You're going to be more concerned about the color of people's genitalia than you're like, should we be mining for oil? Huh? How does this drill work again? And maybe they've gone that far. They really think that they know how to manage all these intricate, detailed subsegments of the economy. Whereas the Democrats of old were smiling. I don't know how to run a railroad, but those guys do. And they're going to make 3 to 10 times the amount of profit that we would make if we ran it ourselves. And 40% of 10 times is a lot more than 100% of nothing. So but man, when the gather just becomes too expensive. I like North Dakota being so close because the North Dakota state may say, screw this, we're drilling and we're seceding. We need oil, we need gas. Done. See you, United States. And they say, oh, but they might send in the military. Yeah, and now if we ran out of gas, they're going to have to come on foot. And then all the women of South Dakota or North Dakota end up getting thin for some reason. Don't know how that happened. Vince H, $5. Got the Audible of the menu. Great work. Thanks, Vince. What, you already listened to it? I know it's only 4 hours. All right, let's get through more of the. From Anonymous. This comes from a 10, meaning a 1 out of a 10. I was always curious about the world of 10s, men who are 10s, because it's a different world. Cappy, I'm 6'4", 22, good looking. My experience differs slightly with your analysis of being a 10, the biggest being girls my age simply want to be friends with benefits. I have used your services before to handle grape. However, I don't run into entitlement yet, which is likely because girls my age in the second inning rather than the bottom ninth with bases loaded. The most accurate, and I bet you they're still playing around. I bet you they just do view you like that. And I had an agent in the field who's probably more my age. He said, my son is going to university. He's a 10, very good looking. The girls just share him. He said that he's just like on a rotating schedule with the girls. And it's like, yep, good for him. But it kind of sucks if you wanted to get married or looking at that. But I guess you'll have to accept that consolation prize. And again, to show you the difference, you really got to worry about STDs. Because you're in that field, man. You really got to worry about those STDs. The most accurate analysis was me not realizing my sexual market value until I became red pill aware. Until I binged your content, I thought I wasn't abnormal to have girls make advances like offering to buy me drink. Oh, yeah, that's completely abnormal. Completely abnormal. Let me tell you a story. Let me clear that out. I'll just give you an example to provide another data point and to provide a story, which would be entertaining. All right, I am a very good-looking guy with some qualifiers. 1, for my age. 2, for my height. Many years ago, we did the hot or not thing when that was a thing. I came in at an 8.6, 8.7. If you want to throw in extra physical characteristics, I got good finances, and talented ballroom dancing, I got interesting hobbies. All right. But that 8.6, 8.7 is moot and academic. It really would only apply on the internet. Like, you'd only get internet attention because you can't tell how tall I am. Like, if you look at Jack Napier, I can't see him anything taller than 5'6". I think he's Rob's height, but he's 6'2". So the internet really it paints a completely different physical picture of the individual that you're seeing. But in the real life, I rarely ever got hit on. Rarely. And I was somewhat keen. I'd pay attention a little bit. Some women made it pretty obvious, but they weren't good looking. They were overweight. A lot. And you had to discern between girls that were actually interested in you and girls that just wanted attention because you were the ballroom dance guy and you could make them look like $1 million on the floor. But removing that, just going straight on looks, I'll give you a perfect example. I'm at the cigar lounge that I like to go to. And there's a gal sitting at the bar next to me. And, no, I'm sorry. I was sitting next to the register and she came up to pay for some drinks or something like that. And I'm smoking and she's like, how you doing? I'm like, hey. And so a conversation struck up and she said right off the bat, you got a girlfriend? And I couldn't say yes quick enough because this gal's like 53. None of which is her fault, of course. You're born when you're born, but she's older, fairly overweight, not significantly, but certainly could have stand to lose 25, 30 pounds. On a smaller frame gal, that's a significant amount. So she was overweight, single mom, not that good looking, but the bloom was off the rose or the petals was off the tree or whatever the saying is. And no, her fertility was all gone. I mean, the youth and beauty was all gone. But that was the first time I've been hit on clearly or had any indication of interest in quite some time. The last time, I'll give you another story. I go down to the cell phone store. And the gal assigned to me is this nice Latina lady. And I say lady because, again, older than me. I think at the time I was 44. She was 40. So this is quite some time ago. No, maybe I was 45. This is only 2-3 years ago. So she's very helpful. If not the best cell phone store employee I've ever ran into. Oh, we'll get this, we'll get that, da, 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 da. And she's setting it up. And, while she's doing that, we're talking single mom, 2 different kids, 2 different dads. She looks her age. She's getting older. wrinkles, and very average looking. She was relatively thin, she wasn't overweight, but didn't work out. You could tell was not put together that well, and gravity was taking its toll. So walking out, Leah, she follows me out. She's like, well, could I get your number and call you sometime? Now that's ballsy. I will applaud a woman. That's ballsy. But it's not an 8.6. But I'm not an 8.6. That's my whole point. I'm probably a 6. You include height and everything. And the fact girls don't know anything about career, background, skills, talents, or like I'm an on the street 6. You see that person walking by, what are they? I'm an on the street 6. Like, okay, good looking face or features. That's about it. He's short, he's scrawny. That's it. And so even that, I guarantee you, is probably more attention and flirtation than the average man gets. I don't think I've ever had a girl that I didn't know. No, I would have remembered that. Not once has a girl ever offered to buy me a drink. Not once. I've had girls ask me to dance, but that was in the context of me dancing, and obviously they would want to get on the floor to look at it. And that was common. That wasn't all that. But outside alpha environment, situational alpha, you take me out of it, that's my experience. And I think the average man's experience is even less than that, especially the younger you are. Absolutely. Girls aren't asking you guys out. And so, yeah, it is rare. It is the exception, not the rule. A girl asks you out, a girl asks you to get you a drink. That is very rare. Here, let me, for all the guys in the house. One, if you've ever had a girl offer to buy you a drink, one you didn't know, just randomly came up to you and offered to buy you a drink. 0 if it's never happened. And you'll get a feel for I'll be surprised if there's one out there. Here, I'll start. I never had a girl offer to buy me a drink, so I'm going to put a 0 in. There we go. I have voted. Let me go through to the rest. Oh, that's the fan mail. Until I binge, Red Pill advances like offering to buy me drinks. Yep. So there you go. Yeah. So yeah, it completely different rule set. Completely different rule set based on your looks. If you are a 9 or a 10, you got to have your own special version of red pill awareness. And as I said before in the video where I made fun of Pete, the guy who refused to invite to social gatherings, you're playing defense because girls view you as like they're entitled to your sperm. Like you are the one, you are the chosen one. 7 to 8s, which is where I ranked, you're in the confusion zone where girls do like you, but they're always holding out for a 9 or a 10 because a 9 and a 10 dicked them at one time and they think that means commitment. So they're fleeting, they go away, they have a great time. You think you have and you do have a great rapport with them, but then you're not tall enough for, their alpha boyfriend came back. Inevitably they settle for you and marry you, but they're always begrudging and they don't throw you that hot porn star actress sex that they gave Vlad Elkins. And then what's easier is the 6s and belows, and I throw 6s in there because it doesn't matter that you're above average. 80% of men are not attractive to women. You guys, you get to make the choice. Do you want to upgrade to the gray danger confusion zone, or you just say screw it, I'm throwing it in the towel. You don't have to worry about it because the choice is made for you. So that's it. I gotta do. Fabian has a request. Yeah, I gotta get to this guy. I got a request there. I got a request there. Is this all the emails? Career dating advice. That's funny. Did you want a response? Did you? Are you doing asshole consult? Yes. Response. I'm doing this so that I can clean up my email and not have anything here. Abdul, get to yours. Please. No one's getting back to me that I need to get back to me. All right. Fan mail is done. Close out all this. Clean this out. Clean this out. All right. Competent man, $5. Finland was talking about joining NATO. Russia cut energy supplies to Finland today. All of the West is in this world where they think they can live by these Marxist, leftist, touchy-feely activist principles. Russia's the only one like living in reality right now. Like, well, we got the oil and the gas, so screw you. And Russia there are other countries in the world that will gladly buy Russian oil and gas. Gladly will. Chris is not here. $2 going to pick up the menu on Audible later today. Good. You can listen to that while you're driving around. Competent man, $5 again. Finland gets 60% of natural gas from Russia. Russia wants payment in rubles. Imagine that. The country where rubles are the currency, Russia wants payment in that currency. Could you, it's so, does that not like throw a weirdness on their guys, right? Wait a minute. Shouldn't they want payment in rubles? Russia doesn't use dollars. Russia doesn't use yen. Russia doesn't use pesos. They use rubles. Shouldn't you want payment in rubles? And it shows you just how the West, especially the United States, has tried to sling its world reserve currency dick around. Like this is a horrible thing. Finland can't just go pay in rubles. Finland, what do you require payment in? I'm just wondering what currency it is. Finland refuses to do so, so no natural gas for you. Now, I am no geography guy, but isn't Finland kind of north? And doesn't it get kind of cold in Finland? I'm so happy I have my wood-burning stove. I've got bases covered, man. I so want so much high gas prices. I so want you guys suffering. I so want basic life necessities to go up 100,000%. I so want you like, oh, how does economics work again? Don't worry, you have plenty of time to think about it while you're cold and starving this winter. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we got the ones and the zeros coming in. We got 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. Any more? 1. So we're 1 and 5? 1 and 6, 7. I mean, they'll correlate with the top 20, top 15%. Do some real quick math there. And these guys are not young men either. I'm sure there's some middle-aged dudes in here too, where there's been decades for women to buy men drink. At any point in time, ladies, you can be equal now. You could offer to buy men a drink. Well, I guess that's over now too. Normally goes to nightclubs. Yeah, it's a different world. A completely different world if you're a top level dude. Completely different world. They do the work for you. Which if you kind of like, what's wrong with your problem? Like they literally do. And there's no animosity. I just don't think alpha guys realize like, well, what don't you just have girls talk to you? No, they don't. Look, there's two types of gals. The gals that think they're hot enough to get you and they'll approach you. And then there's the ugly gals who know they're not hot enough to get you, but they ain't going to approach us. All right. It's you or nothing. It literally is you or nothing. It's the Chippendales, the Thunder Down Under, or nothing. They are not going to take some mild-mannered, well-financed, industrious, self-employed CPA accountant. They're not going to take a hard-working, laboring, spelunking, deeply philosophical, 6-foot-tall chemical engineer. They're not going to take a charismatic, funny, witty guy, fly by his pants, yet deep economic philosopher, ballroom dancing adventurer. Because we're just not good enough, man. Oh, famous Vlad Elkins. He's only 5'8". Ooh, Atham Decua. He doesn't make that much money. He's only a night person and he's only going to school for chemical engineering. Oh, Cap, he checks all those boxes, but only 5'9". Oh yeah, just too bad. That's just too bad. I remember one fat gal. I was drunk. This is when I rode the moped. I was drunk. She drove me home, but she drove me to her home. I see what she was doing there. We're lying there in a bed. She's like, "So are we not going to have sex?" I'm like, "Oh, all right." Okay. She's like, "Were we ever going to date?" I'm like, "Well, if you lose some weight, yes." That was not enough. No. Like, Chad, it's hard for girls to lose weight. And I saw her, and she's still cool. Not in person. I saw her on the internet. Just older now, still overweight. All they had to do was lose the weight. But see, now if they see the fours, the linear threes, and let's put it that way. How about that's a better way to put it? The linear threes and fours go double. They think they can get the 6, 7s, and 8s. Okay. They really do. And it's like, no. Because in man world, below 5 means unattractive. It's a bifurcated market. 2 different products, 2 different buyers and sellers. And they Venn diagram a little bit, but there's very little crossover. And confusion abounds. Joe Mercer's Way, 10 British pounds. New FRCU company rules. Listed companies must disclose whether at least 40% of board are women. One senior board member, CFO, CEO is a woman, and one board member is BAME. And must explain why if don't meet it. I'd just be going to the United Ireland. I'd be setting up my company elsewhere. Look, the West is, if you want to abandon hard work, meritocracy, and just simple fairness and ethics, that's fine. You're gonna. I've said before that what's going to end up happening is these companies are only going to be brand names. Like, okay, I don't know FRC, but we all know Shell Oil. Shell Oil is just going to be the yellow shell with the red outline. It's just going to be the brand name. Where a bunch of useless, worthless people act and play make-believe corporate executives. The real work's going to be done by contractors and subcontracting companies where it's like, we don't play this game. We're the ones that got to drill the oil out. All right. And we don't have Karen with her communications degree here gumming up the works. And so it'll be a make-believe country club of a company they work for. Target Corporation is like that. They don't do anything. They just have other real companies, real men and women produce the stuff largely in China. And then they have the real men and women drive the trucks to ship it here or the boats to ship it here. And then the real men and women at their facilities stock it. And then they put a funny little dog with a bullseye around its eye. And they talk about how much they love black, lesbian, female vagina. And then all the guilty liberal white women go like, "Oh my God, Target. I'm helping the environment because of their method soap." That's fine. That's cool. Guys, just let them work. Is it that hard? Women want to do all the work now. You want to sit in the meetings. You want to get your MBA and commute. Have at it. Have at it. Go ahead. We'll see you. Bye. We got our badge. We could get, girls don't realize that we could get by in impulse power. We could get by in so little. And you girls can go work and you can pay the taxes and you go deal with all that. I know the movies made it seem like that's where you want to be. Go do it. Go. Men are clocking out. They are. Men are going gold. Men are Atlas Shrugged. Look, you took away the pussy. All right. You took away the niceness. You took away the traditional girl. That's the fuel that got us up in the morning. You're making it impossible to work. Very literally impossible. And it's like, well, if I just drive Uber, I can have like a nice little apartment and I don't have to go to college. Once you guys give up the hope of having a family, get the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. Once you remove, I should say family or marriage, though that's certainly too. Once you remove the opposite sex from your life, both men and women will see just how much resources they piss away pursuing that. Women still invest an inordinate amount of resources in the pursuit of men. Men obviously invest more, but if you just step back and say, okay, I don't have to do this anymore, you save so much time and money, and you guys can get by on so much less. But women, they could get by on less, certainly if they wanted to. They could live just as minimalistically. The laws of finance and economics apply universally. It doesn't matter what your gender is. But they want, okay, absent men, what women want is agency. They want to make their mark in the world, and they're going to look at men. Well, what did men do? We want to do that. Okay, don't strike your own path or nothing, ladies. Don't come up with something different or unique. Just copycat men. That's fine. It's your choice. You've made it very clear you want to become men. Okay, do it. Men, let them do it. By the way, you're not going to stop them. You're not. They're sovereign individuals. They have the right. Okay, let them do it. What I would say, guys, just chill out. Go enjoy life. I'm an Uber driver. Dude, that would be so great just being, if I had I known, I would have just like been a taxi cab driver or a carpenter, gone into the military. I don't even know if I'd go to college as time goes on. Maybe probably would have become an accountant knowing that I'd like to work remotely. And I would just do what I'm trying to get to now, which is I work 3 to 4 hours a week and I go have fun. Well, don't you want to get married? Do any of your parents ask you that anymore? Or do they kind of know to shut the F up and not ask it because it's such a stupid question right now? Do your parents know? 1, yes, my parents are stupid enough to ask it. 0, no. 1, yes, 0, no. Eirik Solvi, 55 Norwegian kroners. Here are money. What's kroner to dollars? Is it 8 to 1? KOR to USD. What's the kroners? Oh, that's South Korean won. Norwegian krone. 10 cents. So it's 1/10. What did you send me? $5.50. Oh, thanks, Eric. Hat and clogs, $2. Av. Yes, had Av. Catch up with everything. I think we caught up with it. What did I say? 1, your parents ask. 2, your parents don't. Oh, good. Looks like parents know not to ask. That's good. Okay. We got that. Let me go through the rest of the sponsors. The League of Extraordinary Podcasts has been done. How about this? Why don't you download all these podcasts so when the electricity and the internet goes out, because we don't need electricity. It's nuclear power bad. Hotep Jesus, Tipping the Odds Vegas podcast. Red Evening with Jack and Rurp. Masculine Geeks. Dumbass Contractors. That's a new one. Check out Scott over at Dumbass Contractors. Silvio Canto's Canto Talk. Subscribe to his channel. Get the old man up to 1,000 subscribers. Pete, the guy you refuse to invite to social gatherings. Ryan Stone. Linda Gross, I'm going to be on her show. Oh, I'm going to go on with, I'm going to be on The Crucible later on tonight with Rachel and Andrew. The Come On Man podcast with Paul. And if you would like to make sure that no one is stealing or pirating your content that you create on the internet, go to piratebooktakedown.com. Piratebooktakedown.com, where Doug will go and scour the internet for anyone offering free versions of your content and get it taken down with DMCA clauses. Science of Mastering a Signature Style. I'm going to delete some of this. I'm going to delete that. I got to clean this up. Privatizing governments. I don't want to do any ads on the show. I already got enough sponsors. When things go back to the dark times, and we'll start taking on sponsors again. I just got to clean this up. I'll get it organized. It's just, wait, is Troy Francis here? Oh, no. Jennifer just yelled out Troy Francis. Let's go. The news. I want to talk about this, but it just seems like there's more and more. Oh, I got to pay for this? No, I don't have to pay for this. I don't have to pay for this. Let me look up Melina Abdullah. Of course, she's a professor, and now she's been arrested. Oh, the LA Times want me to. Where'd it go? Here we go. All right. Hopefully it's not below a paywall. BLM activist Melina Abdullah forcibly removed from mayoral debate at Cal State. Co-founder. When was she arrested? Wait, when was this? Heard in the distance. Members not allowed in the auditor. Hurting me, Abdullah, professional victim and whiner. Political science. Why isn't the arrest mentioned? Okay, in 2018, she was arrested for allegedly assaulting an officer in a melee after an unknown powdery substance was reportedly thrown. I thought she was arrested because of fraud. Or did I get the wrong one? All right, that wasn't it. There was one thing, maybe this is the primary. There was at first someone from Black Lives Matter, one of the leaders, and then they're getting arrested under fraud and embezzlement charges. This is one here from the New York Post. Boston social justice activist and husband scammed at least 185,000 donors, according to feds. High-profile social justice activist in Boston and her husband used a nonprofit they founded to scam at least $180,000 from donors who included a Black Lives Matter chapter. Local district attorneys and federal authorities charged Monica Cannon Grant, see, hyphenated name, and Clark Grant allegedly treated their Violence in Boston organization as a personal piggy bank to pay for rent, shopping experience, delivery meals, visits to a nail salon, and a summer vacation trip to Maryland. Guys, this is the dream of the leftists. This is the dream of the SJWs. They don't care to actually solve whatever social ailment, the child poverty, the children, cancer, whatever. They just want to make money. And they're just as greedy capitalists, if not more. See, the CEO of Ford Motor Company at least tells me the truth. I want to sell you Ford cars, right? Whether it's worth the transaction price or not is moot. But he's honest about this. These people have this is why these nonprofit types are such evil, vile hypocrites. This is why I will always take a capitalist over a socialist or a touchy-feely nonprofit type, because the nonprofit people don't care. They don't care. They are stealing your money and they are lying to you. And worse, they're taking truly disadvantaged groups of people to tug at your heartstrings so that they don't have to work for it. And they just want to live a life of luxury. That's it. They just don't want to work for it. Established the nonprofit 2017, organized a fight of supremacy march, unite the right, to counter the Unite the Right. Both having the personal cell phone of Mayor yeah, Black Lives Matter gal. And it's all about, by the way, she didn't help one black person. They're black, by the way. And there were several others that came up. I think there was one in Canada. They're buying mansions and all this. But here, this came out yesterday. And it's from Yahoo News, which I'm surprised because Yahoo News just couldn't suck black dick enough. Couldn't suck Black Lives Matter's dick enough. And how, because it's a joke of it, but what happened? This is literally, not kidding, this is literally the first legitimate article I've seen from Yahoo News in a decade, maybe? I can't remember the last time. From Emma Colton, the Black Lives Matter movement started a massive wave of Americans uniting to call for defunding the police and eradicating white supremacy to make positive changes for Black Americans. Yeah, defunding the police is going to help out. But experts reflecting on the movement scorecard in 2022 say Black America hasn't benefited. You had Obama. Y'all, it doesn't matter who the figurehead is, whether that's a president who happens to be a half Black man or a nonprofit or a movement like Black Lives Matter. If the solutions, if the prescriptions is the same thing, bitch and whine, and don't get off your lazy ass and do anything about it, you're going to have the same results. And I know Yahoo News is surprised. Oh, it didn't work. Oh, what happened? We burned a bunch of buildings down and we almost defunded the police. Why haven't Black lives improved? Because as I said before, as evidenced by the scam gal who claimed to be helping out Black people, it's not meant to help out Black people. It's to tug at your heartstrings to take money so they can enrich themselves. They don't care about you. I would argue that on balance, these communities are worse off because of Black Lives Matter overemphasizing the role of police. They've changed police behavior for the worse. The Manhattan Institute, Jason Riley told Fox Digital News on a phone interview. In other words, police do become more cautious. They're less likely to get out of their cars and engage with people in the community. To the extent that people are less proactive, the criminals have a run of the place. I mean, it's not right that what's his name died. And by the way, there's other, George Floyd was just the latest. There were several people that have died under police custody, which requires additional police training, not burning your city down. But you want to get rid of, okay, fine. You want to get rid of the police. Oh, now the criminals have a run. It's really going to piss off, not my audience of Black people. You guys know a lot of you guys are cops. Matter of fact, I ran into a ton of Black officers over at Donovan Sharpsteel in Vegas. For those of you that hate the police, this would be regardless of your race. You need them more than they need you. You do. You need capitalists. You need producers. You need white males, although that's rapidly changing in terms of production value and labor force participation rate. But generally, you all need producers of society. You need law and order more than they need you. It's just true. All right. Your neighborhood is plagued with crime. You're not going to have fathers around. You're going to have a bunch of baby mamas. You're going to have a matriarchy. You're not going to raise your children. You're not going to discipline your children. You're not going to get jobs. You're going to send your kids off to school. You're not going to teach them ethics. You're not going to teach them responsibility. You're not going to start companies or anything like that. There's no employment prospects. Kids are going to fall into drugs. Kids are going to get pissed off because they don't know where their dad is. And now you got a poor neighborhood. Now you got crime. Oh, but don't snitch. Snitches get stitches. Don't stop don't talk to police. Fine. All right. And how's the finances? Have we really closed the gap between blacks and not whites? I don't want to close the gaps between blacks and whites. Why do you hate Black people? No, you're not thinking big enough. You're not aiming high enough. We all want to close the gaps between everyone and Asians. I want me some of that Asian money. I also want me some of that Asian life expectancy. I want to live to 115 years old. Right? I know everyone has a hate boner for white people. I got it. You're blinded. What are the Asians doing? Did we close any gaps? Did your standards of living improve? Did your life expectancy improve? It didn't. But what the BLM people told me felt so good. Do you want to feel good or you want to do good? Which one do you want? It was so close, guys. It was so close. Again, Operation Evil. The city of Minneapolis, the citizens voted 52 to 48 to keep the police. They were only 4 points away from defunding the police. I'm not kidding. And if I were to have the time and the money and still be there, I would have done my darndest to get as many people to vote to defund the police in the Twin Cities. Because you guys deserve nothing less. You absolutely do deserve to get rid of the police. I'm with you. You should not have police. Could you imagine? The Arkham. It would be Arkham. And as always, the black community suffers because no one wanted to tell them the truth. Riley noted that police brutality still exists, bad cops exist. Well, what about criminals resisting arrest? Does that exist? With raising awareness about police misconduct, but he argued that BLM is over-focused on police. Take account that 97.98% of black homicides do not involve police at all. Dr. Carol Swain, retired professor of political science. Oh, here comes the critics. Vanderbilt University told Fox News Digital that an intelligent observer would be hard-pressed to identify any area in American society where BLM's activism has benefited the black community. It's not supposed to. It was a money grab. Look, forget BLM. That's a recent and relatively small and young, very embryonic phenomenon, right? Let's talk the Democrat Party. Has the welfare state helped anyone who is poor? It hasn't. Wasn't supposed to. It was to be to the benefit of Democrat politicians. Has not, I point out, name me one profit except for the March of Dimes that has actually solved the problem. Nonprofits are not there to solve the problem. Nonprofits are there for rich, liberal white women to avoid real jobs so they can feel good about themselves. That's it. That's why nonprofits exist, at least in the United States, so rich, liberal white women can feel good about themselves. I knew, this is going almost 20 years ago, there was a gal, and in a very unethical, immoral way, to get money for the American Indian communities, and because there's Indians obviously in Minnesota as well. Well, Minnesota is an Indian name. Lots of Indian names, actually. She wrote lies, fake sob letters about people who were in situations of poverty in the American Indian or Minnesota Indian communities. But she was all fabricated to get money from some whatever government nonprofit organization. Did you know that the American Indian community is still dead last place when it comes to standards of living? We don't talk about them much because they're not black and they're not as fancy or marketable, and we don't get the clicks. But do you know they're still the poorest Americans of all the different groups of Americans? That didn't help. You know what did get some American Indians out of poverty? Casinos. Capitalism winning again. All right. But boy, it sure felt good, right? Sure felt good. Anyway, she's a rich white girl. Dad was rich, husband's rich. Just a despicable person. But she felt good. Didn't get one American Indian out of poverty. Not one. Sure felt good. That's what it is. You guys got to wake up. It's for rich white women to feel good about themselves. And when you finally understand, largely for the welfare state to get Democrats reelected to make them rich and to make liberal white women, rich white women feel better about themselves, when you realize that's why a welfare state and nonprofits exist, then you'll understand, oh, that's why, whatever, the children are still hungry, the black people are still poor, the American Indians still live in filth, bobbity, 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 bob. But y'all, you just can't get over that feeling. You just, man, you love feeling better. You love that pride. You love the feel-goods more than you want to be not poor. You'd rather live in filth and squalor and have a miserable life than inconveniently believe an uncomfortable truth. Then change your life a little bit for the better. Okay, that's fine. I'm almost dead anyway. Continuing on. What BLM has done is pervert the criminal justice system by engaging in activities that result in a growing trend of trials by media. BLM has intimidated juries and judges. Leaders have no interest in due process, presumption of innocence. Acquittal of George Zimmerman, fatal shooting of Trayvon Martin. Black Lives Matter rang outlaw protests. Yeah, it's been around for what, 10 years? I'm sure if I pull up household wealth as a percentage of Asian household wealth, the black community has not improved, adjusting for inflation. Life expectancy as a percentage of Asian life expectancy has not improved. defund, blah, blah, blah. Guys, it was just a money grab. It was just a money grab. Too bad he didn't get in on it. Too bad. All right. There are other articles of different Black Lives Matter people getting arrested and, oh, shock, they took the money and ran and didn't pay taxes on it, but you guys believed it. I think we're all caught up. We're done. All right. Buy my books. You can go to Amazon.com, search for Aaron Clarey. Got my books out there. Questions, assholeconsulting.com. Take a look at my book, How Not to Become a Millennial. Great book. The Pence Principle, advertised by Randall Bentwick. We talked about economic. Oh, Pushing Rubber Downhill. Visit my buddy Adam Pickett. He's podcasting again now. You can check that out. Also, as we talked about black poverty, get my book, The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty, because I hate black people. Poor Rich's Retirement. Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Boo-ba-boo-da-boo. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.